And we are live for the second game of this doubleheader between the Dominican Chargers versus the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Right now, I am joined by my broadcast partner, Nick Durst. As of course, my name is Nicholas Pavona. We will be joined by Joe Foreman in just a little bit. He's taking care of a stats issue. But Nick, welcome to the baseball complex for the second game of this doubleheader. Dolphins coming off a 9-5 loss in Game 1. As that bunt attempt was grounded to Santos, so throw it on to Vigliotti in time for the first out of the inning.
I hate that, Nick. I hate coming into the
Hate
game
a bunt at the start of the
and
game.
bunting right back to the pitcher. Just on the first pitch, too. Got to get into it a little bit. Coming off a big victory in Game 1, where you come and you take the lead in the extras in the 8th inning, and then you bunt right there to get things started.
First pitch of this at-bat for Santos is in for a ball 1-0. As Tyler Richmond is the batter for the Chargers. We'll try to get you the lineups in just a little bit. As time is called at the plate.
Beautiful day for baseball.
We were in danger of potentially having rain earlier on, Nick. As
it was supposed to rain
Game 1,
today.
it didn't look like it was going to rain. There were some clouds looming in towards the baseball complex, but thankfully those clouds went away, and we were able to get through Game 1. Now, obviously Game 1 went a little bit extra with those extra innings, but we're now ready here for Game number 2. So that one's in there for a strike to even the count of 1-1. Richmond batting second in left field today. 2-1 from Santos. This is low for ball 3, and he's quickly behind 3-1.
Definitely want to get off to a fast and clean start here if you're the Dolphins after the way Game 1 ended.
Now a misses on the outside for ball 4, so a one-out walk issued by Santos here in the top of the first. As Ty Gilligan, the catcher, will come up to the plate. Gilligan in Game 1 went 1 for 4, had a double in that contest. As he takes the first pitch strike 0-1. The win in Game 1 gave the Chargers their first win as they now go to 4-11. They ended their 4-game losing streak, so they'll look to take this doubleheader from the Dolphins here today. The Dolphins will look to end their 4-game losing streak in this second game. They're hoping that Gerard Santos, who hasn't pitched in a little bit, Nick, could give them a good outing today.
It's been a rough patch here for the Dolphins.
Ground ball to short. Rodriguez on to second for 1. On to first base in time. 6-4-3 double play forced by the Dolphins to retire the side. So Santos gets the double play ball he needs and gets the Dolphins out of the top of the first. When we come back from commercial break, Dolphins come to bat for the first time in this game. Scoreless between the Chargers and the Dolphins. And we are back for the bottom of the first inning here at the CSI Baseball Complex. Gerard Santos got out of the first inning with a 6-4-3 double play. And now the Dolphins will come to bat for the first time in this game. Michael Keogh, the catcher, will lead it off for CSI as they look to get the first run of this game. Now the same exact top three to start off here in the bottom of the first. It will be Keogh, followed by Burkhead, and then Polomini. As Nick, the Dolphins, obviously coming off that loss in game number one, look to get back on track here in game two. Down 5-0 at the end of game one, but they did come back to tie it, force extra innings, but unfortunately that eighth inning got away from them. Let's see how they respond here in game number two.
Yeah, Nick, the wild pitches, the walks, and the errors always come back to haunt this team.
First pitch strike from the Chargers starter, that being Isaiah Figueroa. This will be his fourth appearance of the season. He is 1-1 in 17 innings pitched. Finished that second, As Keogh gets that one into right field, he gets a single right there. As it went right in front of the right fielder Andrew Smith.
Wind always tricky out there in right field here at the baseball field complex. Always see a lot of fly balls that seem like they're going to be catchable, and they either die right in front of the right fielder because they blow in, or they just barely sneak over the second baseman's head, and that was a textbook example there.
We saw in the first game as Burkhead lays down a bunt down the third base line, or behind the plate, foul. We saw in the first game the wind definitely played a factor for both of these teams. Vincent Weigel had a ripping fly ball into right field that just went foul and could have made a huge difference in the game for the Dolphins. That could have potentially given them within one, and maybe could have given the Dolphins the win in the later stages of the game. And we've also saw a couple plays for A.J. Vigliotti that played a factor, as that one is popped up in the air, caught by the third baseman in time for the first out of the inning. So the wind definitely is going to play a factor here for game number two. Obviously now with this start, as Chris Polomini now comes to the plate. I mentioned Figueroa's numbers on the season. He's pitched 17 innings. He's allowed 18 hits, 7 runs, 5 of those earned, and has an ERA of 2.65. So Figueroa's had himself a nice strong start to this young year. And I'll try to contend with this Dolphins lineup as Chris Polomini, Dolphins center fielder, comes up third here in the inning. To check Keogh at first base. I did see Joe Foreman fix our right field camera, so we'll switch now to our batter-pitcher cam out of right field. Hopefully, it stays like this for the rest of the game. Figueroa throws that one in there for a strike, going one. Polomini's had himself a nice start to the season. 2 big hits for the Dolphins in game number one. He's got Keogh at first. He swings and misses on that one. Count goes to 0-2. On deck for the Dolphins, A.J. Vigliotti getting the start once again at first base. Check Keogh again. Ball goes behind the first baseman, and that will allow Keogh to go to second. So the first error of the game for the Chargers right there on the pickoff attempt. And now Keogh goes into scoring position.
Dolphins would love to strike first here after the way last game ended, and with that errant throw on the pickoff attempt, have a good shot to do so here.
And now a huge opportunity for a guy like Polomini, who has been doing great numbers for the Dolphins so far on the season. Can now deliver an RBI chance with Keogh on second. And we know Keogh has good legs. Run around that base path if the ball gets into the outfield. Good stop behind the plate, saving a wild pitch. The count now evens at 2-2.
Good stop there.
Correction, the count now is 1-2. So 1-2 count for Polomini here. It's a good gap in between first and second as well, as time is called behind the plate. And you can see the gap, Nick. If he can hit it into right center field, that could be an easily an extra base hit for Polomini.
Keogh's speed, anything that gets over that to the right side should be able to score him if it's into the outfield.
That one misses on the outside. The count now officially even at 2-2. I mentioned after Polomini will be A.J. Vigliotti and then Thomas Martin on the next two batters for the Dolphins. 2-2. That one hit into center field. Long run for the center fielder, but a great catch is made. Keogh will tag second and go to third. And there's now 2 away in the inning, but a great job by the center fielder for the Chargers right there, as Kettle Tucky made a huge catch. And now it'll be up to A.J. Vigliotti, Nick, to get the Dolphins that first run of the game.
Absolutely the guy you want up in this position, but that ball, that kept carrying. That took the center fielder pretty much to the base of the warning track there. Kehoe's able to tag up to third here. Vigliotti looking to cash in now.
I mentioned the wind has been a factor in game number 1 especially. A lot of hit balls into the outfield, kept carrying for those outfielders. And A.J. Vigliotti had one of those hits in the first game in which he hit a fly ball into right field, and the right fielder, Smith, had to initially ran in to make the catch, but with the ball carrying, it almost went over his head. And for his team's sake, he thankfully made the catch. That one again hit into center, but playable for Cadell Tucky. He again has to track back. And again, Nick, you saw it right there.
Not easy with the wind here.
The wind definitely took it on that one, but he makes the catch to retire the side. So the Dolphins strand the runner on third base. We now head into the top of the second. Chargers and Dolphins scoreless.
Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information.
Back for the top of the second inning here at the baseball complex. A scoreless ball game between the Chargers and the Dolphins. As Isaiah Figueroa was able to work himself out of a jam, getting 2 fly ball outs to get himself out of the first inning and keep it scoreless here in the second. First pitch from Gerard Santos in there for a strike going 1. Davin Cadell Tucky, we saw it, Nick, make 2 big catches, having to track down fly balls at the center field after the wind took them just a little bit.
Yeah, that last one, that retired Vigliotti, looked like he was going to have it easily. Then he had to really go back, and then he contorted his body and was able to luckily make the catch.
Quickly an 0-2 count for Santos. Hit down the first base line, but foul. The count will remain 0-2.
The thing about this baseball field is it's just so wide open. Obviously, beyond right center field, you have Dolphin Cove, but that's really far back. So from the right side where the parking lot is, as the strikeout down swinging there, all the way to the new soccer field, the other soccer field, it's just open. So the wind gets howling here for sure.
Absolutely, and I mentioned it a lot of times in that game 1. A couple hit balls for the Dolphins, a couple inches away, would have given them potentially an opportunity to win that first game of this doubleheader. But just did not go the way for CSI, and they're hoping in this game that it could go that way. Up to play for the Chargers now is Joseph Torres. Takes that first pitch for a strike 0-1.
The Dolphins need another strong start from the starter here. Get a lot of depth, especially with the abbreviated lengthening innings for the doubleheader, and that'll be a key.
And we saw in that first game, Ryan Keough gave the Dolphins 6 innings, and
Yeah.
it didn't look like he was going to be able to after 2 lengthy innings given up, where he gave up 3 in one and then 2 in the other. But he was able to work himself through the 6 innings at just 99 pitches, and the Dolphins at first looked like we were going to be able to get out of the jam. Nice diving stop by Cetera, but it went through him, and it gets in for a base hit.
A lot of ground to cover there for Cetera there. We got to slow it down, but the ball sneaks through for a single.
So it's a 1-out single for Torres right there. It's correction, Nick. That's actually Joe Salito at second base. Cetera is at third. Usually used to seeing Cetera playing at second. So Salito is at second base today. Cetera at third. So went past Salito there. 1-out single for Torres. Batter is Jake chasing Graham, and he takes a swing and a miss for a strike 0-1. Jason Graham, a huge factor for the Chargers in Game 1. Had 2 doubles in that one. Certainly has a big presence at the plate. Santos checks the runner at first base. Torres is back in safely. Now, Nick, were you able to find a parking spot in the third row today? That's the question.
I was, but I went a little down. If I didn't, though, I was going to go in the employee parking lot.
Okay.
And I would have been covered, but I don't really walk that far.
Now, I had to unfortunately park in the second row, but I'm kind of towards the end. I'm assuming I'm
If you park all the way towards the outfield, you should be fine.
That's where I am right now. But we did have an instance in Game 1 where a ball was hit on the top of a car, and it made a very loud sound. And we thought
row 1 or row 2?
I think it was in row 1. And we thought it was going to be a cracked windshield at first. Thankfully, it was not.
Just a dent.
I went toward the Dolphin dugout. A nice play by Cetera.
Nice play there. Well on the dugout.
I'm sure Louis Matrone saw that play at the dugout and was maybe cringing a little bit. We know.
Luckily for Lou, he's not on stats today.
He's not on stats today. He's actually our public address announcer here today.
He's doing a good job.
He's doing a very good job.
But anything near the dugout, that's certainly Lewis's kryptonite.
Of course.
But back to the car thing. Anybody who's parking in row 1, they're just asking for
I don't know
incident.
if it was. See, the issue is I don't know if it was a parked car. It probably was, but there was also a car going in the direction as the game was going on. So
moving vehicle.
It could have been a moving vehicle. We'll never know. That one hit. It's a left field. The catch will be made in left field by Burkhead to retire the side. So Chargers strand a runner here on first base, and the Dolphins will now head into the bottom of the second inning. They're scoreless with the Chargers.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the CSI softball complex. Joe Foreman finally joining.
Joe, we're at baseball.
We are
it's
baseball.
Okay. I did the same thing earlier.
We are at baseball. We've called a lot of softball, though.
We have.
We're at the baseball complex.
It's been a long week.
Joe Foreman rejoining Nick Durst and Nick Bavona on the call. You really ruined my intro there, Nick.
I'm sorry.
got that finger point from
I know, but then you would watch the game later and you would realize you said it.
Oh, I realized I said it right away.
Okay. All right, never mind.
I'm just happy to hear Thomas Martin sticking true to his walk-up song.
Return to form. Pitch on its way. That's in for a strike. Isaiah Figueroa on the mound. Not in the circle. We are at baseball, after all.
Yep.
On the mound for the Chargers in this one. I'll get you his numbers in just a moment. Unless you did it already, Nick.
I already did.
You did.
Joe, you want to recap the first inning and a half from your perspective here?
I'm not sure he wants to say that on the air.
We had a stats issue from Game 1. I was trying to fix it before first pitch. The NCAA rejected the file for duplicate players on the visiting roster, so I wanted to see if there were, in fact, duplicate player listings. There are not. What I'm guessing is that the file did contain duplicate players. However, Stat Crew does not display the duplicated player because it's two players with the same name, different number. It does not display both as Martin draws the walk. Long story short, I have to get back to work on it after Game 2. I then have to take a walk out to right field, switch the camera battery again. I don't anticipate we'll get a full game out of the right field camera.
Well, it looks great right now, so whatever you did.
We're hoping for the best.
We had an instance in Game 1 where the camera fell over due to the wind.
It was windy out there.
Well, the leg snapped right off the tripod. We reattached that and got back in position as Anthony Sotero swings and misses for strike 1. I didn't miss too much. Dolphins did get a runner over to third base, failed to score. 1 hit per side. An error on the side of the Chargers helped the Dolphins along in the first inning. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw it on my way back in. Errant pickoff?
The Aaron Pickoff,
Yep.
yes.
Okay.
That's how Keo got into second base, and then he would advance on a sacrifice fly into the outfield from Burkhead. Excuse me, Polimini.
Speaking of my perspective early in this game, I had many different ones. Commentary booth, right field corner, stands.
You said it
everywhere.
You said it in Game 1. You're getting your steps in today.
I've gotten more than I anticipated for the entire 4-day stretch. This day 3. Tomorrow, our 4th and final day of coverage out of 4 straight. With Gerard Santos getting the start in this game, you'd anticipate that Christian Rice will get a start tomorrow. Sotero behind 1 and 2 here after taking that last pitch out of the zone. Pitch on its way, and that's chopped toward third. Having to wait for it and throw across the diamond in time, but first baseman off the bag. Making that play at third was Nunez, and this time, Chasen Cram couldn't keep his foot anchored.
So, Joe, what would you mark that down? An error, right? The throw would, I think that would be an E5, just because if it's a good throw, you got the out for sure.
Then it's an error.
So I would put that as an error.
If a good throw had him for sure, it's an error, but was that routine? He did kind of have to rush.
We'll look at a replay in a
We'll
second.
get a replay on it and make the final scoring. It officially goes up as a hit for now.
So Joe Solito attempted a bunt on that one, so we're trying to advance the Dolphin runners in.
Let me see.
With a good throw, he absolutely has him.
Then it's an error.
That's how the magic happens, folks.
Now, with a good throw, he may have had him, but did he have to rush to make the throw he made?
I don't think he had to, but
I can't see from over here now that we have 3 in the booth, so
Yeah.
I'll get a look following this at bat. At the plate here, Joe Solito looking to bunt with 2 on, and he gets ahead 3-0. So Figueroa having trouble finding the strike zone against Solito, who was looking to bunt all the way. And now the Dolphins are a pitch away from potentially loading the bases. And Solito takes 4 straight out of the strike zone. So let me get one more look at that replay. Pause it when the ball is fielded. Ball's fielded there?
Yep.
Oh, that's an error. That's a big-time error if the ball was fielded there. That's an error, no question.
So how about this spot, guys? We've seen Palermo's numbers on the season. Bases loaded.
And he hits one to second. Could be 2. Throw to first in time. No RBI in the double play, but the Dolphins do take a 1-0 lead as Martin comes in to score. Not what CSI was looking for, but they do get on the board. That ball was hit very hard. That being said, Chargers position well.
Dolphins just looking to get any runs they can here, and got a chance for one more now.
Second look at the replay right there, and a good defensive alignment from the Chargers. Get the easy double play ball. And now 2 away in the inning, so if you're Dominican, if you could escape this inning with bases loaded, nobody out, and only give up the 1 run, you'll certainly take that going in to the top of the 3rd.
No doubt about it, and we said it, Nick, during Game 1, that the Dolphins' 8 and 9 hitters, 2 of their best, as that gets through and into left field for what will likely go down as an error.
I was just going to ask what the ruling was going to be. I would say E5.
Yeah,
so rough inning,
we have to go back.
Rough inning for the third baseman.
We have to go back and rescore the earlier play as well. That's currently it as a hit, but I think that's an error as well. Let's see. E5.
His glove was there, so
Chargers now
certainly an error.
Have 3 errors.
Do we have a balk there?
Looks like it. I mean, why else would the runner be walking to second briskly?
And no pitch. We did have a balk. All right, so it's been a pretty eventful inning. The Dolphins now lead 2-0.
What a first inning for you to come back to.
We've had a couple of miscues on the infield, both, I think more so the first, at the time anyway, was debatable whether it was a hit or an error, but upon review of the replay, Satara wasn't even a third of the way down the line when the ball was fielded, so that's definitely an error. As that skied to right, could be trouble. A hat has been lost, but the ball has been found. Ranging back, Bongiorno makes the catch on the move, and the side is retired. Dolphins get 2 in the inning, and they have their first lead of the day. Staten Island 2, Dominican nothing after 2.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we're back from the College of Staten Island, where the Dolphins have just taken their first lead of the afternoon. 2-0 Staten Island, as they give Gerard Santos some early run support. Santos has allowed just 1 hit in the game. Officially, Chargers now have 3 errors in the game. The Dolphins just 1 hit. Dominican just 1 hit. Our live stats don't reflect it yet, as that's chopped to second. Santos has a quick first out here in the 3rd.
Nice start to the inning. It's forcing that ground ball to Joe Salino at second. So Ryan Bongiorno and the last inning for Dominican. He now comes up here with 1 away.
Bongiorno made a nice play to end that last half inning, as the outfielder certainly wasn't getting there. Smith made a couple of great plays in game one. He wasn't going to make that last one. And certainly from first base, Jason Cram had no chance. So it was left to Bongiorno, and he made the play. As that's in for a called strike.
Half of a bunt.
Joe, this is my sixth year doing baseball games. I don't remember a March ever where we've had this many sporting events go off without a rainout.
Hopefully you're not a third jinx up here in the booth, as that's lined straight to the glove of Nico Rodriguez for the second out. But Nick Pavona and I were talking earlier about how I'm Jinx Prime. He took over my nickname as Jinx Supreme. We have not had a rainout yet this year. The weather's been great.
I'm pretty good with the reverse jinx.
Reverse jinx?
We got the Grand Slam last year on the reverse.
Yeah, true.
Reverse jinx, perhaps? Next swing.
Well,
see you later.
I'll tell you right now, if you bring up the comment later on in this game, depending on what the score is, that we might need Nick to reverse jinx it just in case.
That's chopped to third. Not an easy play for Cetera, but he made it look easy as he throws in time. And the side is retired. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Gerard Santos. Dolphins lead 2-0 when they come to bat in the home third.
You know I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And leading off for the Dolphins, the left fielder, number 23,
Brian Burkhead will lead off for the Dolphins in the home third inning. CSI with a 2-run lead. Isaiah Figueroa back to the mound. Dominican University, they picked up the Game 1 victory over CSI, 9-5 in extra innings. First pitch from Figueroa on its way, and that's in for a called strike.
Burkhead was very productive, Joe and Nick, in game one of this doubleheader. Again, a base hit here to lead off the third.
Burkhead 0 for 1 in this game. The lone Dolphin hit belongs to the man batting in front of him, Michael Kehoe. Kehoe was the last out in the second, as that's ripped to right center field, and that's down for a base hit. Burkhead takes the turn. He will head for second. Throw coming in, not in time. And it's a leadoff double for Brian Burkhead.
Great job of hitting there by Burkhead to get the offense going here. Initially, I thought he was going to be in there easily with a standout double, but that was a close one. Good job by the center fielder to cut that off before it headed to the warning track.
Does that count as a commentator's jinx? For a good reason?
It might.
Okay.
It might.
Dolphins will take it, certainly.
The Dolphins very nearly had more than just the one hit, but upon replay review, can't in good conscience give those two balls they hit last inning base hits, as Polomini grounds out on one pitch, and Burkhead will have to stay put at second.
So Burkhead in game one, Joe, getting under the tag on a ball hit into the outfield and scoring under that tag to get the Dolphins at that point in the game to make it, I believe, a one-run game. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Burkhead we know certainly has good wheels on the base path.
Well, I remember that it did make it a one-run game. You were correct, because I said at the time, Dolphins were 80% of the way back.
There you go.
But that was pretty clever in the moment.
In the moment.
But the wind wreaking havoc on our right field camera right now. You can see Figueroa's jersey whipping around as that's lined to right. That's down for a hit. Burkhead is held at third. And the Dolphins will have runners on the corners following a base hit by A.J. Vigliotti.
You saw that wind there kind of hang that up a little bit, and then it dropped in. Burkhead had to wait to see if it was caught, which is why he really wasn't running at much at contact, unable to send him around to score. But Thomas Martin's going to come up here, and a prime opportunity for the Dolphins to add on to this lead.
And guys, unfortunately, the call cannot be said once again. Number 33 cannot get the Dolphins' third hit.
That is unfortunate.
But he could get number 4 again.
He could. He's moving up.
Yeah, moving up. And Joe, I mentioned in game 1, we saw A.J. Vigliotti getting the base hit into right field. So 2 things. 1, we know he has that opposite field hit powerness to get into him. But this time he got the better of Andrew Smith, who has robbed him twice on the day so far.
He did get the better of Smith on that one. Smith with 2 major league robberies in the first game. The wind has settled down a bit. Vigliotti is running, and Martin hits one well, deep to left field. That's headed toward the wall, and it one-hops the fence. In to score is Burkhead. Rounding third is Vigliotti. He heads home, and the Dolphins now lead it by 4, following a 2 RBI double by Thomas Martin.
Well, guys, Thomas Martin slithered that baseball much like a G6, and around come 2 runners to score.
And that is base hit number 100 for Thomas Martin, as they will retrieve that baseball. And Martin drives in a pair with his 100th hit as a CSI Dolphin. What a moment for him, and a big base hit for this Dolphins team.
The captain delivers.
A good thing that the ball stayed in play. Otherwise, they would have had to track it out in left field. So, congratulations to Thomas Martin for that hit. He gives his team now a 4-run lead.
Anthony Cetera, the batter. He looks at a strike.
And time might be linear, Joe. Number 33 got the 4th hit of the game. We saw that in game number 1. He gets here again in game number 2.
And that's lined toward right center field. That's down for a hit. Martin being waved home. He will head to the plate. The throw is cut off as it skips up into the air, and it's an RBI single for Anthony Cetera. The Dolphins now lead it by 5.
Just a great job of hitting, spreading the ball all around the field this inning for the Dolphins.
Dolphins now 5th hit of the game, guys, bringing home the 5th run. And now they are the ones up 5-0 after we saw Dominican up 5-0 in game number 1.
That's a good point, Nick. And the point, I should say more appropriately, the takeaway is don't ease up. 5-run leads, especially here at the CSI Baseball Complex, not safe. In terms of keeping the ball in the ballpark, this is definitely a pitcher's ballpark in terms of not allowing home runs. However, as a hitter, there is a lot of room to put the baseball.
You see the ball carrying a lot today. As you can see from our point, the wind is again picking up, and the papers are almost flying again here at the press box.
Wind picking up once again. Our camera's hanging in there out in right field.
It's a brave soldier.
They'll check on the runner at first. Cetera slides back in without issue. At the plate here, Joe Solito. He walked his first time up. Came to the plate looking to bunt. And Figueroa missed with 4 straight pitches. There is action in the Chargers bullpen as that's lined to third, and they will double off Cetera to end the inning. Tough break there for the Dolphins as Solito hit the ball hard. However, CSI scores 3 times. The big blow, Thomas Martin's 100th career hit, a 2 RBI double. And we're back from the CSI Baseball Complex, where during the break, Thomas Martin got a nice ovation for his 100th career hit. It was a 2-run double, so not bad for number 100. The Dolphins are now in front by 5. You made the point before, Nick. Same lead the Chargers had in Game 1, 5-0. And Dominican will have next 4 innings to try and get back in this game and perhaps earn a sweep of this doubleheader.
Leading off for the Chargers here going to be Tyler Richmond. Now they try to be the ones coming back from the 5-0 deficit.
We spoke about it earlier. Martin's 100th hit, not the only milestone in play.
I was going to say that for later on, Joe. Oh, not again.
We have to acknowledge it now.
Now you have no choice.
Mike Morrow once again going for win number 300 in this game. We called a 300th win last year over at softball.
We did. The question is, how many times did you mention in the broadcast before you...
Quite a few. Quite
okay.
a few.
Mike Morrow, fresh off his commercial with Aaron Judge for Ralph Lauren Polo Cologne.
Now, does he appear or...
Nice catch in right field, by the way, from Palermo.
He does not appear, but he is the one tossing the baseballs, and the baseballs appear. Okay. Now, the Cologne guys, it's called whatever the Cologne name is, and there's a number with it, okay? So, what do you think the number would be? I initially would have thought
99.
it would be 99. Mm-hmm. But they went with...
That ball's hit well to right field, but it looks like Gilligan just got under it as Palermo makes another nice play in right as he reaches up to make the catch just shy of the warning track.
Nice play there, for sure. Yeah, so they actually went with 67. I don't know where that comes from. They call it Polo 67, but I would think it should either be 99 or what was it? He had 62 home runs.
He had 62 that one
So
year,
I don't know
yeah.
where 67 comes from.
It must be something related to the brand and not to the player.
And with Garrett Cole probably out a month, he's going to need to hit 80 this year.
As that's lined into right field for a base hit by Davin Cadell Tuckey. As a Phillies fan, I'm happy with where the team is in terms of personnel, but I could not be more disappointed with how the season ended last year. I thought, without a doubt, that was a series they should have won from the Diamondbacks, and then as expected, the Rangers took care of business in the World Series.
You went to one of those games, right, against the Diamondbacks?
I went to Game 7, and I believe I went to the previous home game.
You were the
as
good
well.
luck charm for the Diamondbacks.
I was going to say.
I was unbeaten in the playoffs
Game
until
6
that
and
last
7,
game.
the big comeback.
I saw them play one game against Miami, as that's chopped back to Santos, who will flip to first, and the side is retired. But for me, one game against Miami, one game against Atlanta, 2 games against Arizona in that 7-game series. So Dolphins will come to bat. They maintain their 5-run lead as we head to the home 4th inning. Home 4th inning from the CSI Baseball Complex. Dolphins will look to add to a 5-run lead as Gerard Santos has held Dominican University to just 2 hits. Dolphins have 5, but the Chargers have had some miscues in the field in this one, and those have hurt, as they've committed 3 errors to help the Dolphins to 5 runs through the first 3 innings.
Gotta take any advantage you can get here. Try to pick up some wins and try to end some losing streaks.
At the plate here, Michael Palermo, who made 2 nice plays in the outfield during the last half inning. Palermo hit into a double play that brought home a run earlier. There's that slice toward the left field line and caught on the move. Shortstop David Nepper makes the catch and has quickly won away.
Nice job by Nepper there, going towards the line to catch that ball.
That will bring up Nico Rodriguez. He's 0 for 1 with a run batted in. Reached on an error his last time up. Shows bunt here and takes a ball. Now, would Rodriguez have been the third out in that inning? And if so, I think he loses the RBI.
Have to replay the inning.
Have to go replay the inning. I have the play-by-play here, but for the sake of being thorough.
Took a big swing and a miss there, count even at 1.
Oh, he had the earlier RBI. That's chopped short. Now, yeah, he would lose the RBI because he would have been the third out. So we'll take that away, unfortunately, for Nico as he grounds out here. That will bring up Michael Kehoe. First pitch on its way. That's inside for ball 1. Kehoe 1 for 2 at the plate in this game. Deck behind him, Brian Burkhead also 1 for 2. Long look in from Figueroa ahead of the 1-0. That's hit in the air out to center. Should be a routine play for Cadell Tuckey, and he's got it to retire the side. Dolphins go down quickly, 1-2-3 in the 4th. CSI still leads 5-0.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Fifth inning from the CSI Baseball Complex. This game moving right along. Just started about 45 or 50 minutes ago.
I'm okay with this.
Well, Nick, you have a big game coming up.
I have a huge game coming up I got to watch later. I need to watch St. John's to play in UConn tonight.
Let's go.
Semi-final of the Big East tournament.
You guys going?
I wish.
Where's the game?
MSG.
MSG.
Why aren't we going?
I think you guys are going to go. You're not going to make it, though. 5:30 tip, right?
Oh, no, Joe. It
There
happens.
goes the
6
right
o'clock
field camera.
tip.
There goes the camera right on cue.
I'll walk out there again in between innings.
But,
I could use some more steps.
But listen, the only reason I think why I'm not going is we still have obviously a trip. Well, Price won, but we do have a trip next month.
To
I'm still
Philadelphia?
looking forward to it. Absolutely. So.
Won't cost you much.
Yeah.
How much of the tickets you think?
Well, it's not that. I'm also.
something.
It's not even.
If we get the tickets for the game tonight,
I know a guy. I have season tickets for the Knicks and
Well, here's the
Rangers.
thing: if
I'd
you go
have
to
to
the Big
say.
East tournament, it's 2 for the price of 1. You get to
Well,
see 2 games for the price of
Now
1.
here's the other problem, though, and
it's 2 games
This is
tonight.
why I'm. What did you call me, Supreme Jinx or Jinx Supreme?
Jinx Supreme.
I've been to a couple of St. John's games this season, and they have not won a single game. So it might be for my best interest not to go.
Nice
a nice play by Rodriguez at short.
High level of difficulty there.
I haven't been there yet, so I'll reverse the jinx back. If you have 2 jinx,
it's more
what's
than
the plural of jinx?
It's more
the jinxes.
Jinxes.
The jinx bros.
I'm trying to think of how many games I've gone to, and they just.
You went to UBS, right? You saw them
I went
there.
to the UBS.
Did
yeah,
you,
that,
did you
that
go
was,
to the Prudential Seton Hall game?
No, I did not.
Okay. It's just MSG and the UBS. The UBS game was the Seton Hall one, right?
Yes.
They lost by 19.
They were up 19,
Right.
and they
blew a 19
collapsed in the
lead.
second half. And it was
But
the
they
same.
beat Seton Hall by 19 last
They
night.
did, thankfully. If they did not, it was tough because we were calling the softball game yesterday as well. So it was very tough for me
If Joe
to
can get his
watch that
internet
game.
to work, he'll be able to check the ticket prices.
I'm checking the ticket
He's
prices.
checking already.
Now, would you guys stick around for the game right after it? Because it's 2 for the price of 1. You get paying for both games.
I could care less.
Who's
honestly.
playing? Is
The
Marquette?
second game is Marquette and Providence.
It depends on how well they feed me.
I think it's going to empty out after the UConn St. John's game.
Probably. There's going to be a lot of people for that game. That's going to be it's going to be a hot ticket for that game.
We're about to find out what the damage is right now.
I would think.
Nice scoop by Vigliotti. How about the defense and the hitting guys from the Dolphins?
That was really nice.
Well, this time it's Smith who gets robbed by Vigliotti.
Revenge.
He returns the favor.
Revenge is sweet for A.J. Vigliotti right there.
That will bring up G. Nunez. Quite the crowd has assembled for Game 2.
Yeah, couple of
Well, with the weather getting better.
dozen people out here filing in at this point.
Oh, yeah, we do the Foreman formula last-minute ticket purchase. We'll get under $100.
I think
I'll think about it, but I don't know if I want to.
You guys have to leave
I don't know.
immediately after this game ends.
We'll see when the game ends.
When is tip-off's 5:30?
5:30. Yep.
That's assuming they start on time, which never happens.
They don't. They probably will not start on time.
If this game ends,
I'll
in
tell
an
you,
hour,
there aren't a lot of seats available. And there are no venue tickets. They're all verified resale tickets.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Ticketmaster is the primary vendor. If I go elsewhere, I would bet
Vivid
less.
seats.
I honestly don't mind going to our usual hangout spot after the game if we just go there to watch it.
I would go for under $100. I would go for under $100.
I would think about it only because I don't know if I really want to watch them potentially lose again.
All
That's
right,
my
well,
only concern.
it
I've
looks
seen
like-
enough- I've seen enough
This is not good,
I've seen enough
guys.
heartbreak.
Santos injured, looks like.
Yeah,
Colin Allison
they've
out.
called the trainer out.
Yeah.
So we'll see what comes of this as Nunez
And you're obviously hoping.
drew a 4-pitch walk.
And you're hoping it's nothing with anything with the arm or the shoulder or his elbow, anything on that region.
I thought he went to his leg. But I could be mistaken. We'll see.
He's gonna maybe he'll throw a warm-up pitch here, but everyone seems to be exiting the field, so
It was a very short conversation.
no visit because it was a medical. Now, what's the new rules this season on visits? How many visits can you get?
You're asking me?
I'm asking the SID.
Yeah. Good luck with that question. I know what they send to me in emails.
The good thing is he's still in the game. So.
As an umpire, I don't know anything. I don't know about the D2 rules, but I wasn't aware there was a.
I know there's a limit on visits.
Maybe per inning. I don't know about the game.
I think it's per game. All right, StubHub is finally loaded. We'll check StubHub. As Santos comes set, he's behind 2-0 here. Has missed it 6 straight, and he finds the zone.
Well, the question is, if you guys go, is Nick going to have time to go home to get his St. John's sweatshirt?
I have a sweatshirt with me. So
Okay, so you're ready to go.
I already
He's on
came
a
prepared.
roll.
Foreman will buy one at the MSG team
I'll
store.
buy one.
And then sell it right after the game.
Correct.
Game worn Big East sweatshirt.
It's funny because the shirt I have under my polo today is the St. John's Big East tournament shirt that I bought a couple years ago. The first time they went into the Big East tournament when I was a freshman.
Comes to 2-2. That's in the dirt for ball 3. So there is no action in the Dolphins bullpen. Santos has a full count here on Bongiorno. Unlikely. Well, actually, it's certain that the runner will go with 2 outs, as that's ripped foul. We'll do it again, 3-2. Comes the 3-2, and that's behind the batter.
That might allow the runner to go from second to third, but to no avail as Keogh was able to track that one down.
Whatever is ailing Santos is definitely affecting him right now. His command has just departed from him. That walk was his third. So just 1 walk before this inning, 2 consecutive now. And it's back to the top of the lineup for the Chargers.
I think what would be good for the Dolphins is if Santos can get out of the inning. I wouldn't be surprised maybe this could be his last inning of work, just to see if there's any, to avoid any further damage that he's currently dealing with.
With no action in the bullpen, should Santos get out of this unscathed, I think it's almost a certainty he's coming back in. If he were to walk another batter,
then
I think that would sound the alarm bells, and perhaps the Dolphins would warm up a reliever. Pitch on its way, and the 1-1 misses high. And that one backs David Knepper off the plate. Count now 3-1. And if Santos walks another, I think the Dolphins may send someone down to throw. There's a big swing and miss. Count now full, 3-2.
They're chasing a low pitch right there, so 1 strike away once again, getting himself out of the inning. Whereas we'll go on this next pitch.
Big pitch here.
Runners will be going on the pitch. Here comes the 3-2. And that's hit the other way. Straight to the right fielder, Palermo, to retire the side. So Santos works around a pair of 2-out walks. He strands 2 on base. And the Dolphins maintain a 5-0 lead heading to the home 5th.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
And we are back for the home 5th inning from the CSI Baseball Complex, where there was a change in the field. Joseph Coppola checks in over at first base. He replaces Jake Chasencram. That pitch gets away to the backstop as Brian Burkhead is quickly ahead in the count, 2-0.
No action just yet for the Dolphins, but they do see some stretching from some of their relievers. So we'll see what happens there.
Ripped foul down the right field line. Burkhead smoked another one there.
He's had a couple good hits in this game, or in the first two games, I should say, and almost got an extra base hit on that one.
Two balls and one strike the count on the CSI left fielder. Pitch on its way. That's sliced foul. Count evens up at 2-2. Burkhead 1 for 2 at the plate, looking for his second base hit of the game. And he won't get it here as he swings and misses for strike 3.
Figueroa forcing him to chase on that one in the dirt for the first out of the inning. It brings up Polamini.
Number 14, Chris Polamini.
Polamini 0 for 2. Comes to the plate here with the bases empty and 1 out. That catches the outside corner for a called strike 1. Despite a couple of rough innings back-to-back, Isaiah Figueroa hanging in there for the Chargers. He's been victimized by 3 errors as that's it out to center, and that's down for a base hit. It's a bloop single for Polamini, and the Dolphins have a 1-out base runner.
Seeing a lot of bloopers here. The wind just kind of killing a lot of things.
Well, on Wednesday, I think it was Michael Kehoe that had a bloop single that landed behind the mound and in front of second base. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before.
And he was thrown out on the play.
Was he?
I think
I
he
thought
was
it was
thrown
a
out,
hit.
wasn't he?
I think it was a hit.
Maybe it was a hit.
I think it was a hit that
Oh,
loaded
it
the
was.
bases.
You know what it was? We thought it was a line drive.
Right.
That's what I thought happened.
And we still didn't see it bounce on replay.
Yeah.
Very, very odd play. That will bring A.J. Vigliotti to the plate. He had the robbery in the last half inning. Now bats with the runner on here. He fouls that one away. Vigliotti 1 for 2 at the plate. Thomas Martin on deck behind him. Runner going on the 1-1. High fastball, good pitch to throw on, but another great jump as Polamini steals second.
Stand-up steal.
No throw needed right there. Polamini got a huge head start.
Dolphins have gotten some great jumps on the bases today. We saw a steal of third in game 1 as well, as that's taken outside.
Second look at that last steal from Polamini.
Vigliotti had 3-1 here. He got jammed on that one. Looked like he fouled it off his foot. That will run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Polamini in scoring position over at second. Dolphins looking to add to a 5-run lead.
And guys, I don't know if you see it, but A.J. Vigliotti is wincing a little bit. I think that last foul ball hit him maybe on the shin or something.
Those are never pleasant. And we've seen some baseballs take some bad bounces today.
Mm-hmm. No further comment either.
No. They almost got us again as well. So no one's been safe.
No. That was still the weirdest hit ball because of the way Weigel went down to avoid being hit by the ball. It still somehow made contact with the bat.
I wasn't looking as I was attending to stats on my left.
You'll see the replay when you get home and watch the game later. The way it happened is Vigliotti's down swinging for the second out. The way that he went down with his bat, it somehow still made contact with the ball. It's honestly impressive that happened.
would have been more impressive if he hit it in the window again.
Please don't.
Yeah, please don't.
Window's wide open, so.
Yeah.
Well, that window was wide open, and that window was wide open. This window was wide open before that ball was hit. No more.
Yeah.
Thomas Martin, the batter. He's behind 0-1.
First at bat since getting his 100th career hit, so try to make it 101 right here.
Palomini drawing a lot of attention at second base as Martin looks at another strike. It was Palomini who had 2 steals last game, second and third. Comes the 0-2. That's chopped foul. Martin looking to work out of a 2-strike hole. Figueroa checks the runner and delivers outside. Comes the 1-2. That's hit in the air, a mile high. Shallow right field. And the catch is made there by Smith to retire the side. Dolphins strand a runner in scoring position. They still lead 5-0 through 5.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
And we're back from the College of Staten Island for the 6th inning. In Game 2 of this non-conference baseball doubleheader, Joe Foreman alongside Nick Pavona and Nick Durst for this one.
Got a nice dance from TJ Tibbs during our commercial break.
Marquise was egging him on over there. Marquise was dancing earlier.
Oh,
and
we have video.
I have to feed it into the broadcast before I do the game.
Get the airdrop going.
TJ just looked up to the press box that's laughing. I think he just realized that they have the video now.
No, it's sent it to Marquise, who's showing.
Yeah.
Gotta get on the broadcast.
So I don't know if you saw one of his dance moves. He pointed the 2 fingers to the eyes.
Yeah.
I'd love him to look back up here, and I could do it back.
See, I see you.
Pitch on its way. That's in for a strike. Count 1 and 2
he's
on
waving
Tyler
at you.
Richards.
He's giving the finger to you.
He's
Joe.
giving them a tumbo. He's giving them a tumbo. I don't know. I don't think he's going to want that to be aired.
He might not have a say. As that's blooped into right for a base hit. And Richmond is on to lead off the road 6th inning.
Send it to me. I'll put it on the college's social media page.
Now, to be fair, there was some video circulating once upon a time of TJ doing a dance on his own desk.
Yes. Fin Friday.
That's right. It's been too long. We should have introed the broadcast with that music today. That would have been something special.
Maybe, yeah. Gave the old GTA 5 song. That's what the song was playing. Pictured myself in Los Santos driving a car while he was dancing to that.
We wouldn't do any such thing in real life that we would do in GTA.
Well, yeah, of course. Why?
I've never once played that game, actually.
Really?
Never.
GTA 5 was my first GTA, I will say that. That was my first one. But I agree.
I was too repulsed by the criminal behavior on display.
Yeah, there is some stuff in that game that's definitely not PG.
I was instead running around with my chainsaw bayonet in Gears of War during the time that game was new.
You played some Call of Duty as well.
I always load up my host shotgun out of spawn. It's that sliced foul. Gears of War fans will know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Gilligan is behind 1 and 2 here. Now,
Is,
speaking of Gears of War,
yeah,
these jerseys for the Chargers reminiscent of the black and red Gears of War colors.
I was gonna say, how in the world are you making a Gears of War segue there? I don't know how you're gonna do that.
Those jerseys.
You almost called me slipping a second. I almost said a different word. I almost did to keep it PG for a second.
I almost dropped the first profanity that I've ever uttered on Sportsnet during the first game when that foul ball was coming right at us.
Oh, yes, of course.
But I pivoted and gave it the old holy moly.
Holy moly.
So the ball came into the booth?
Almost. It was
hit the window.
The window was open fully. The ball probably hit right here, so it missed by about 6 inches.
Did it not hit to the left of it?
It hit over there on that window?
I thought it hit to the left of the camera.
I thought it hit up there to the right of the camera.
I don't remember.
We've had a lot of close calls lately. The end of the basketball season, we almost got taken out at least 3 times.
Yep. Hard hit grounded to short. Could be 2. Handled cleanly by Rodriguez, and it looked like Salido lost his footing on second base. So it's a fielder's choice on the play. Dolphins get 1 out, and there are now 2 away in the inning. Salido looked a bit shaken up after he made that throw. Looked like he slipped on the bag because the Dolphins certainly had the double play if Salido had maintained his footing.
See in a second after this first pitch from Santos.
Joseph Torres at the plate looks at that pitch high. Here's a second look at the replay.
Yeah, he did. He took a weird step after making that tag at second base.
Kehoe blocks it, throws to second offline. Tag applied, but not nearly in time. That'll be a wild pitch by Santos. So on the agenda during the upcoming week is bigger batteries for the right field camera, or perhaps a more powerful charger.
How about a really long extension cord?
There is no power supply anywhere remotely close to where our camera is stationed.
What if you put the camera in left field by the scoreboard?
There is no power there either. We
Really?
tried it.
Yeah.
The reason we're in right field is because the second fence is low enough that the camera can see over it, and that second fence is far enough behind the first fence
Keep the camera
that it
safe.
doesn't get in the way. The other option would be to tie the camera to the fence as we do at softball, but there's no reason to do that when we have a perfectly good spot in right field. So that last walk will prompt a conversation between Mike Morrow and Gerard Santos. Santos stays in. No action in the Dolphins' bullpen. And once again, the Chargers have 2 on with 2 outs. And we're about at that point in the game where they need a big hit. And the man at the plate is getting his first at bat. Joseph Coppola came on at first base in the last half inning. What a time to get your first plate appearance. He takes a strike.
And he would certainly love to deliver here. And obviously, with it being the top of the 6th, they need a hit now more than ever. So they're down to their last 4 outs.
Santos with a quick step off there. Now looks in ahead of the 0-1. That swung on and missed for strike 2. Oh, 0-2 the count on the Chargers' first baseman. Pitch from Santos. Up and away. Santos comes set. Here's the 1-2. That's it hard on the ground to second. Salido plays it, and his throw to first is in time. As the Chargers strand 2 in the road 6th inning. Gerard Santos still working on a shutout. He's allowed just 3 hits. Dolphins will look for some insurance when they come to bat in the home 5th.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
We are back for the home 6th inning. As we were being shown the video of TJ dancing alongside the Dolphins dugout, I hastily said the 5th inning. It is the home 6th inning, and the Dolphins are leading 5-0.
Well, think about it, guys. You mentioned it earlier, Joe. 3 outs. 3 outs for immortality for CSI and Mike Morrow today.
3 outs for 300.
Yes.
How many runs will the Dolphins be leading by is the question, as we do have a change behind the plate. Anthony Nigro into the game behind the plate. He replaces Ty Gilligan. Isaiah Figueroa returns to the mound for the Chargers, and he will look to go the distance in this game. It would be a 6-inning start for him. He's allowed 4 earned runs out of 5.
Tara will lead it off here in the home 6 for CSI. We're trying to see if we can finally post that graphic that we were trying to do over a week ago.
Well, the story goes back now a week.
A full week.
Full week. Dolphins were hosting Caldwell University at the Ferry Hawks. And I texted you when the Dolphins were leading 7-1. Be prepared for a graphic on the screen ahead of Mike Morrow's 300th win. Things looked fine for about an hour or so after that, and then that game began to turn. As Satera hits one well out to left center, and that splits the gap for a base hit. Satera heads for second as the throw comes in just behind him.
That's awfully close.
Very close. Great throw from out in left field. Not enough to get the out. And Joe Salido will be the batter, but as I was saying, that game got away, and the Dolphins ended up losing. The joke became that I jinxed it, which might not necessarily be true, depending on who you ask. But the Dolphins in good position to close out a win in this one, and a good chance for some insurance as well here, as that's popped up on the infield. That won't help. And the catch is made it short by Nepper.
Well, the story of this game has been Santos with his great pitching, and that has been the ultimate difference maker. You know the Dolphins, they're always going to be good to score at least 5 runs, but with the way Santos has pitched today, that's the main reason why they are ahead.
Michael Palermo, the batter. And we said it coming into this game. The concern for the Dolphins since that game against Caldwell, specifically, really, from the late innings in that game forward, they've had some trouble generating rallies and putting together scoring innings. They've had 2 good innings since that game, but overall the hit total wasn't there. And we said it coming into today's doubleheader. They were going to have their number 1 and their number 2 pitching, arguably 1 and 1A so far this season. And these are games that the Dolphins needed to take at least one of. And they did that, or nearly did that, in Game 1 with the comeback. Here in Game 2, they're closing in on a victory and hope to split this doubleheader with the Chargers.
And I think one other thing we noted, too, is since that game against Caldwell, an issue also for the Dolphins has been their bullpen hasn't been able to get outs. And unfortunately, we saw that in Game 1 of this one in the 8th inning. We'll have to see if they bring Santos out for the 7th or they turn to the bullpen.
And that should give the Dolphins a valuable insurance run as Michael Palermo grounds one through the middle. In to score is Anthony Cetera, and the Dolphins lead at 6-0.
Palermo adding another RBI to his great start to this season right there, giving his team now a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
That's going to bring up Nico Rodriguez, who Nick Pavona made famous a few weeks ago.
I want to say I made it famous, but we do now know that his name is Nico Rodriguez we're going by.
Well, you did help him to an East Coast Conference Rookie of the Week honor.
The call goes a long way in
right.
the nominations.
It was certainly a memorable night at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park. I know I like to bring that up a little bit. It's too much.
From now on, I'll say it the Ferry Hawks.
All right.
Unless we're there.
So Rodriguez gets hit there by the pitch, but that whole sequence in that game was really memorable just because Palermo gets on base with an infield single. He then stole second base on a wild pitch, and then Rodriguez, down the count 1-2, was able to get a base hit into right center field to bring him home for the walk-off win.
That will bring Michael Kehoe to the plate. 2 on and just 1 out here in the home 6th inning. And Kehoe just got a piece of that one. He's behind 0-1. Dolphins now with 8 hits in this game. I've had many more base runners than that. Pitch from Figueroa, up and in.
Oh, if the Dolphins can pull this out and get the win, obviously the celebration afterwards will be a good one for the Dolphins. But still 2 more games tomorrow for them. So
yeah, I might actually head to the field for the post-game celebration.
Okay,
sounds good as that gets away to the backstop.
Question is, Joe, is that a pass ball because someone off the glove?
How wide was the pitch?
It was on the outside. It was,
way outside or just outside?
Yeah, way outside.
Then it's a wild pitch.
Okay.
A good defensive effort can't be faulted. In the bullpen right now is somebody.
I think that's Chris Polomini.
Yes, 14.
That's chopped foul. Now he does have a pitching walk-up and a hitting walk-up, though it's not really a walk-up. It's a pitching warm-up and a hitting walk-up.
Now, is it differentiated on the...
It is.
Okay, so let's make sure that he doesn't play the other song.
In Lou we trust.
Well, here's another thing, isn't he? He's also coming up shortly in the inning.
He is in the hole right now.
Right.
So he might have to get back to the dugout depending on what happens in this at-bat.
Count 2-2 on Michael Kehoe. And he takes ball 3 outside.
I would think Santos would start the 7th at least.
I would think so too.
I'm with you both. Though the last couple of innings have been a bit tumultuous at times. It's that sliced foul. Still yet to allow a run. It's been the walks and what appeared to be an injury that have slowed Santos down just a bit, but the shutout remains intact. Count now full on Kehoe, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez on second, Palermo on third, and that's grounded down the line, foul ball. And we'll do it again, 3-2. Kehoe at the plate, 1 for 3. Dolphins' top 4 hitters in the lineup are all 1 for 3. No hitter who has 3 official at-bats is without a hit, which which indicates that every Dolphin has reached base. That is indeed the case.
That's a stat you love to hear if you're a Dolphin fan.
Now, every broadcast has its own statistician that feeds stuff like that into the headsets. We do not. However, our live stats are very extensive. If you follow along, you can pick out stats like that all on your own at home.
Now we'll see. Chris Polamini is now on deck for the Dolphins. Brian Burkhead up to the plate, but Chris now has come back from the bullpen, I should say, now into the dugout, and we'll get his helmet on as he's on deck, and it looks like we're going to have a pitching change coming up for the Chargers.
We will have a pitching change and a quick break as the Dolphins look for some more insurance, now leading 6-0 in the home sixth inning.
When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most, preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education and working to earn a degree. Creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies. And a fair shot so dreams can stay on track. United as an association, we've got work to do. We're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
And we're back here in the bottom of the sixth inning as the Chargers make a pitching change. Daniel Chu into the game. Right-hander coming in out of the Dominican bullpen. We'll get you his numbers on the season in just a moment. To track those down in a mountain of paperwork that has been disorganized by the wind. Chu comes in, having appeared in 3 games. In 4 1/3, he's allowed 4 hits, 1 run. That 1 run was earned. He's pitched to a 2.08 ERA on the year. First batter he will face is Brian Burkhead. As I mentioned, hitters 1 through 4 in the Dolphins lineup, all 1 for 3. Burkhead, the number 2 hitter. Chris Polamini in the on-deck circle. He returned from the CSI bullpen.
So, guys, obviously lots of time left in this one, but if the Dolphins are able to pull this one off and Morrow gets his 300th win, what are we thinking? Is there going to be a Gatorade bath? Is it going to be water? Is it going to be what color Gatorade? What's going to be dumped on Mike Morrow? What's in the cooler? Probably just water.
Are you going to ask him any questions when you go down there?
I don't have a microphone, so I don't know what I can ask him. But
I was going to say, if you did, then that would be the perfect opportunity for them to do so. Either way, I would say probably Gatorade bath. Maybe it has water. I'm not sure, but I would say a Gatorade bath.
What we could do is during this half inning, I'll make my way down to right field. Though I really don't want to miss the last out. If I hustle, I could probably get back.
What you could do is you could leave.
We can get the camera.
You can go now.
2 cams can come down to the field with you.
Yeah.
Is it gonna? Oh, it's wireless.
It's wireless.
Why do we have a mic though? We don't have a mic.
Well, you won't be able to speak into it, but there will be audio into that camera. If you're really close, we'd be able to hear you.
Okay.
We'll have to have someone throw on the headset. There's a lot of things we can do with the wireless transmitter on the camera. Unfortunately, the battery power isn't quite there.
So what we got to get for future, we got to get the a mic that plugs into the camera to boost the audio, and then that camera audio.
Well, you would need a separate wireless mic to do it. There's no audio input on the camera.
Interesting.
The transmitter transmits both audio and video. The issue is, I think the video transmits faster. And a walk will force in a run. As Chu issues the free pass to Burkhead, the Dolphins now lead 7-0.
So Joe, is this gonna if the Dolphins win another game this season and Morrow gets 300 wins, is that gonna be discussed on the Dolphin Pod?
Well, the Dolphin Pod during baseball and softball season is very tough to produce because we have to record the episode, then we have to do all the background work. Those podcasts with video and overlays and all the different things that we've added take a lot of time. And unfortunately, I'm a one-man crew in that regard. Nick's been kind enough to co-host some shows. You've been kind enough to co-host an episode. Lewis has joined us. Andrew has joined us. But during baseball and softball, where sometimes we have 4 or 5 games in a week, doubleheaders, I should say, many more than 4 or 5 games per week, it's tough to produce those. That being said, I had targeted April 6th for our next episode. The problem is that's not a great date for me. So we'll have to try and work it out. I think
it's a busy weekend for you.
I think we will be okay if we record during the first of 2 women's flag football games that will take place on that day. Softball is also playing that day. That being said, there's no way I can do the entire softball doubleheader, so I don't think I'll be on the call there. Now, Nick, weather permitting, we could really use you over at the softball diamond on that day because Nick and I both will not be here that weekend.
Listen, I'm not making any guarantees I'm going to be here that weekend.
All right.
There's a big tailgate going on.
I did hear that. Now, we could ask Andrew, who should be clear on Sundays, though the 6th is a Saturday, correct? All right, yep. He won't be clear then. Perhaps first-time commentator on Sportsnet. We'll have to see.
Johnny Venezia makes his debut.
Possible. That could be the day.
Johnny and Nina on the call.
The issue is, well, I'll be here to set up, so they should be able to get on the air no problem. It's the troubleshooting that we lose when I'm not here.
Yes. So there's Sunday, that game?
I believe we have games on both Saturday and Sunday in softball.
Do. That's another long week.
Plus the women's flag football game with the New York Giants in the building.
They play at 1, so I would be able to cover that first game for the Dolphin Pod. That was my intent. But I'd have to set up softball first and then make my way over with a second set of equipment. We're very fortunate the men don't play at home that day. That would be very problematic. Dolphins now lead this game 8-0, 2 in scoring position. Now 2 outs. A.J. Vigliotti at the plate. That's on the outside corner for a called strike 2.
That's a long week too because we have 5 days of games and just about a 7-day stretch of a week. So that'll be a long week here at CSI, just like we've had a long week here as well.
So we have 5 doubleheaders and or games in 7 days that week?
So there is 2 doubleheaders to start the week on the 2nd and the 3rd.
Okay.
Then the baseball team takes on Stack on the 5th. Then a doubleheader on the 6th. And then the men's team again plays on Sunday.
All right.
1 game.
So the issue we'll run into is if softball isn't done early enough, which I think I have to be in Philadelphia by 7, as that's lined into right center for a base hit. And A.J. Vigliotti will pick up an RBI, maybe 2, as it looked like initially Burkhead had stopped. Instead, he will trot home with the 10th Dolphins run. And CSI now leads 10-0.
I don't want to jinx anything, but things are looking good for a victory here for the Dolphins.
Nick, it might be time to cue up that graphic.
I will have it ready for the next inning.
Sounds good. So Thomas Martin will be the batter. Dolphins are going to send a pinch runner into the game at second base. And Martin will have a chance for another RBI. The question is, will the Dolphins send home a run on a base hit? I'm inclined to say leading by 10 they wouldn't. So we'll see.
So is Martin going to leave the DH position and play first base next inning?
I would
think Bartnick, probably comes in.
Bartnick has played some first. But Martin, as you said, could potentially slide over as well. So there are options.
Would just force the DH slot to come out of the game.
I also saw Vigliotti standing over near second base, not realizing that he had only reached first. So perhaps not a great RBI chance for Martin here. He's behind 0-1, and that swung on and missed. Count 0-2 on the Dolphins' designated hitter. Pinch runner at first, Owen Weber. And Martin chops him foul. Comes the 0-2. And that breaking ball is in for a called strike 3. Good pitch there by Chu to get Martin looking. And the side is finally retired. But not before the Dolphins double up their lead. They entered the half inning leading by 5. They now lead by 10. CSI 3 outs away from win number 300 for Mike Morrow.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity. And that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before. But we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
And we are back for the 7th inning from the CSI baseball complex. And we forgot one of the Dolphins' backup infielders, Anthony Irace, will head over to first base. He played some outfield last year as well, but can play first base. He will replace Owen Weber, who pinch ran for A.J. Vigliotti. Gerard Santos returns to the mound as well. He will go for a complete game. And Nick, the Dolphins have gotten some good pitching in this one from their starter. Last game got great longevity from Ryan Kehoe as well.
Well, Santos, as you mentioned, is looking for, as I like to say, Joe, the CGSO in this one. Looking for that complete game shutout. 3 outs away from not only getting that complete game shutout, but from getting Mike Morrow his 300th career win.
We will have a pinch hitter coming to the plate here. We do have a few Chargers who have been assigned 2 numbers. We'll have to take care of that in the post game, but Jade Maya will be the pinch hitter here. Maya on the season has had just 10 at-bats. He's 1 for 10 with an RBI, has drawn a walk, and he swings and misses here for strike 1. Chargers still stuck on 3 hits in this game.
Just to alert you, Joe, because I know you probably would enjoy this, and all the viewers at home, on Tuesday.
That's it, short. Another chance for Rodriguez, who's been busy, and there's one away.
On Tuesday, the observatory reopens for the first time since pre-COVID, and there will be free pizza and solar glasses, 6:30 p.m.
Free pizza, solar glasses? I might have to make a special trip.
Sign them up.
We don't play on Tuesday, so I won't be here.
Still living in Staten Island, or did you make the move yet to Jackson?
We're moving in likely the beginning of June.
Okay, so
we're targeting June 1st.
Post-school year.
So I will be here through the end of the season here at CSI. And then...
Wait, a pitch clock violation? Ball 1? Morrow does not like that.
Please don't get ejected.
Can you imagine?
I get, at least we'll bring up, we'll do an interview in the booth.
please don't. That, of all things to happen, for him to get it, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
I didn't know there was a pitch clock going on here.
I thought the batter called time. It's 1-0.
Count as 1-0.
Well, there's no pitch delivered, and it's 1-0, so I don't know what happened.
Well, there's no clock, I can tell you that. I'm not sure what happened.
I'll have to ask someone in the postgame.
That can be your postgame
Don't
question.
worry, TJ Tibbs made sure that we knew the count was 1-0. Now it's 2-0.
That's chopped to the left side. Rodriguez scoops it up. Long throw. Bounces past Irace, as it looked like that throw may have been in time. It'll be an infield hit for Josh Harrison. He will advance on a throwing error.
Single and an error on the play.
I'm still wondering what these solar glasses are.
The question is, why specifically on Tuesday night do we need them? I guess you can't always look up at the sun. But the sun at 6:30 should be mostly set over campus. I don't think you'd be in a position where...
Well, I heard there's some very powerful telescopes in there.
Okay.
Not too sure.
All right.
Now, have we ever discussed my thoughts on the planet Earth on air?
I don't know if we have. I don't know if you've ever discussed it.
Are you siding with Kyrie Irving?
I am.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
I was waiting for one of you to bring up his name so I could say he was right.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. I have more to add, but we'll have to wait.
Until after the game.
Yeah.
Well.
Though I think both of you probably heard what I had to say on the subject previously.
I do.
All I have to say is Kyrie was right. The count 1-2.
Statement no one ever thought would be heard.
At the plate here is Bryant Bassett. Bassett, third straight pinch hitter in the inning for Dominican. And we'll have a fourth in the on-deck circle.
We're going to have a fourth coming up. Chargers
Bassett on the season 0 for 5. And he looks at ball 3.
It's good encouragement from the Fanatics, guys. One strike away from the second out.
Pitch on its way. That's hit to short again. Rodriguez, another chance. And he throws out Bassett for out number 2.
So what do you guys think? You think the water bath will be immediate? Will it be after some handshaking?
After the handshake.
Solve some time.
Yeah, it will be after the handshakes.
It will be after the handshakes.
Yep. They'll be waiting for him.
I have a brand new phone, so I need to stay clear and not get away.
Good idea.
That's a great idea, for sure.
Chargers down to their final out.
Now, Joe, we also should note that the public address should realize at some point he's going to have to announce that was Mike's 300th career win.
He will.
So, got to make sure that he knows that.
Alexander Reyes will try and delay the celebration just a bit longer. He grounds one foul. Dominican now down to their final strike.
One strike away from 2 milestones in this game. We saw Marin's 100th career hit. One strike away from Mike Morrow's 300th career win.
Another reason for Coach TJ Tibbs to dance.
See if he does.
That 300th win feeling. As that bounces in, it's blocked by Kehoe. And the runner advances to third as Harrison moves up a base. Count now 1-2.
You know, Santos would love to get the strikeout and avoid that runner from third coming in and get the complete game shutout.
Santos comes set. 1-2 pitch. It's chopped back to the mound. Santos has it. He flips to first, and that'll do it. As Mike Morrow picks up career win number 300. The Dolphins pick up a big 10-run victory as well. They defeat Dominican University 10-0. And now all of Staten Island knows it, Nick, as Lou booming over the PA system. I can't hear myself talk. Great job by Lou.
Morrow. You get a little bit of the echo with the public address, but nonetheless, guys, what a win for Mike Morrow and his company. They get a 10-0 win over the Chargers in the second game of this doubleheader. Sure, there will be an extensive celebration for Mike and his team. Obviously, we know they play 2 more games here tomorrow, but they're certainly going to enjoy this game for the rest of the day. And they did a lot of great things in this one, Joe. Obviously, the 9 hits they got on the board, 10 runs as well. They took advantage of the 3 errors from the Chargers, but not more can be said about their starting pitcher, Gerard Santos, in this one. Going the full distance and getting my 4 favorite letters, CGSO.
Santos with a complete game shutout. Allowed just 4 hits. He was fantastic, and you have to give credit to the Dolphins as well. They suffered a really tough loss in Game 1, came all the way back from 5 runs down, and tied the game only to lose in extras. They bounced back. here in Game 2.
And we're seeing on the field Marquise Pickering as well as Nick Durst are on the field recording any potential celebration that's going to happen. I'm assuming there will be some sort of Gatorade or water bath celebration in the next couple of moments.
And Nick, the trainer's vehicle has been driven out onto the field. I think I know what's in the back.
I wonder what's in the back of that car, Joe. It's kind of ominous. It looks like something orange with a yellow, white type on top. What is that? What is that?
And it looks like the players are headed to the back of the cart. Coach Morrow has to know what's coming.
It would really be a shame, Joe, if someone picked that up and dumped it over him. It would really be a shame.
It would be. It would be quite the shame.
You see some of the basketball players here as well as some of the softball players that are in attendance for today's game all going to congratulate Mike Morrow on his 300th career win.
So does he know what's coming is the question.
I don't think he does.
Nick, why don't you clear that graphic off? I think I can position our camera to catch it.
Let's see if we can get it. He's getting in the huddle, boys, and here he comes to Gatorade. It is splashed all over Mike Morrow. What a sight to see. Great job, Joe, on the camera work.
We got it just in time.
Got it just in time.
This camera is really stiff, so I'm going to have to try and recalibrate here. All right, I think we're good now. Career win, number 300 for head coach Mike Morrow, a 10-0 victory over Dominican University.
And, Joe, it was so good that we saw it once. I think we should do a nice little replay to see it
All
twice.
right. Gatorade bath rewind. I got there just in time, Nick. Just in time. So we can throw that graphic back up there. Career win, number 300 for the Dolphins head coach. For CSI, it is win number 5 on the year. They are now 5-8. The Chargers are now 4-12 following a split of today's non-conference doubleheader here at the College of Staten Island. And Nick, for us, that's all on this afternoon. My name is Joe Foreman, joined by Nick Bavona for both Game 1 and Game 2. Nick Durst, kind enough to make his way over from the College Communications Office. He joins us for the second game of today's doubleheader. It's a big win for the Dolphins, 10-0, number 300 in the career of Mike Morrow. We'll be right back with you tomorrow as the Dolphins host Chestnut Hill College. That doubleheader gets underway once again at noon. We'll see you then.